Welcome to today's training, the 7 newbie mistakes. Why this is so critical, right? Because as I shared, it's the invisible wall. So if you don't even know these are the mistakes that are happening, then it's very hard for you to have a breakthrough. And I'm not talking about the basic mistakes, like for instance, getting a poor domain name or do not have a good web page to convert. I'm not referring to all of those because those are something that I've covered in the past classes. This one is more towards business mistakes and also marketing mistakes. Now, at the same time, I want to give you some warnings, and I want you to be aware of these warnings in order for you to consume today's training. The first thing is this: don't take it personal. So when you see this, I want you to understand, I am not criticizing you. It is because of my care and my love, I am sharing this with you so that you can overcome these challenges. If you're going to feel personal, like as if that I'm criticizing you or you're going to get into an argument with me, what is right and what is wrong, then I would like to politely to suggest that you leave the room right now because I do not want to offend you. I want you to achieve success. So the first rule is that don't take it personal because it's going to be as if it's a personal critique to you. All right? Because you are here in this class and chances are you will face these mistakes. Next, to get the best of today's training, evaluate if you are doing any of these mistakes. So out of these 7 mistakes, when I share with you and give you the example and also some suggestions how to overcome them, right? Evaluate, are you doing this mistake? If you are, well, just acknowledge that, not to me, to yourself, and embrace upon it and evaluate how much damage these mistakes have caused you until today. Third, after you have learned today's training, the first thing that you want to do after finishing this training is to figure out how can you fix it. If you don't, then whatever I've just teach you, whatever you have learned, whatever amount of time you're here, guess what? It's just going to be waste of your time. So you got to take action to fix it right away, as soon as possible, like today itself. Like on the spot, if you realize, all right, I got to stop doing this, I got to fix the problem. And finally, if you can overcome these mistakes, I can almost guarantee you that your chance of success will definitely skyrocket. Okay, so let's go with the first mistake. The first mistake is listening to everyone. Yes, everyone. And what do I mean by everyone here? So how is this a mistake? Very simple. The most common case is taking free advice in free groups. Now, I'm not going to name names like what groups, what forums, and so on, but you sort of know, right? If you go to like large groups and so on, guess what you see? There will be some person asking for questions, asking questions to other people who are also failing. Or maybe if they're not failing, but pretend to be experts or gurus. So they have all kinds of ideas and so on. So just try to understand this, right? Taking advice in free groups. Now, how insane that is if you're trying to build a business. But newbies, they do that all the time. They go to groups and then they start asking questions there, right? And they're asking to other people who are also free there. Now, I don't want to criticize anybody, but I want to make it clear here. I want to sort of let you understand where I'm coming from, okay? So just think it this way. If someone is successful, right, he will be very busy with his or her own business. Do you think that these people have time to hang around in free groups or free forums and sitting there responding every 5 minutes to people's questions for free? Of course, there are some people who do that. Like once in a while, I may go in once in a week. I see some questions. I may just go in there and to reply. And I just feel that as my social contribution. Like I do that once in a while, right? But I'm not going to sit there and spend every day to go and respond to other people's comments or posts in free groups, right? Then there are newbies who don't post for questions but go inside there and contribute their own comments as well. Like, I think that, you should do this, you should do that, and so on. I mean, come on, right? There's no results. How would they know what works and what doesn't work? Okay. So, who to take advice from? So, how to solve this? I mean, I'm not asking you to take my advice, right? I'm just going to give you the guideline here. It's very simple. Don't listen to everyone. If you have questions or you need advice, you should only ask from two types of people. One, someone who has done it. It's really straightforward. This person may not be a coach, may not be a marketer who sell courses and so on. These are just a person who has done it. So let's say if you want to say learn how to become a best-selling author, you should be asking a best-selling author. Make sense? You should not be asking someone else. You should not be asking freelance writer, or worse still, you should not be asking someone in free groups who pretend to be an expert, where chances are they only have 2 pennies left to rub together, or they don't even have 2 pennies left to rub together. You see where I'm coming from? And the other group of people who you should take advice from should be only expert with success stories of others. So this could be those who produce courses, training programs, and so on, who are considered as experts. You can even call them gurus if you want to, but everyone could call themselves guru. The only valid guru is a guru with success stories of others. See that? So that is how you overcome mistake number 1. Mistakes number 2, too high for the expectation. So when it comes to online business, somehow people get a bit more delusion that online business could be like an online ATM machine, right? I know it sounds funny. Why would people think that way? But yeah, people actually treat online business as if it's an online ATM machine. Like there is some secret that they need to know, and then you unlock so much wealth to them. So to put things into perspective, right? I want to ask you a very simple question. How long it takes you to get your job today if you're working in a job? Or if you're not working in a job, if you have your own business, and I'm not referring to MLM or being an insurance agent or a real estate broker, I'm not referring to that kind of business, although I respect all of those kind of businesses, but I'm referring to like real business, as in like if you have a cafe, if you have a company, like those real business, right? How long it takes you to get your job today, as in like how many years you need to study, and then the position that you have, how many years you work in that company that allows you to have your job right now, your title. Could you just give me an estimate number? And of course, if you don't have a job, like I said, if you have a business, how long it takes you to build your business to turn it into positive cash flow, as in like you are generating income. All right. So here's the thing, right? When it comes to online business, they say they invest in, say, a $2,000 course or program, and they want to have the ROI in like maybe 30 days or 4 weeks and so on. Now, the reality is that if in 30 days you have your business up and running, and perhaps you make your first sale, that is pretty much, I would say, a huge celebration, a big success, because it's only 30 days, right? Because if we see, like, even just to get your position, your job, it could take on average 2 or 3 years based on the comments here. And here we are. Let's put things into perspective, how newbies think, how they're supposed to get the results faster than ever. You are trying to build a business where you do not have any experience whatsoever. You're starting from scratch, because I'm assuming that you're a newbie in that sense. And it's more complicated than having a job. But instead of thinking, hey, maybe it will take at least 2 or 3 years, we say, hey, maybe it's just going to take like 30 days, or better still, 2 weeks, right? So this is why there's this disconnect, and that's why the dropout rate, it is so high. And that's where newbies fail, because they fall into this mistake where they have too high expectation, as in like they somehow think that online business, it's not a business, but it's some kind of machine that just generate income. So what we're doing here is that we're building a business, but we're using the internet as a platform. So the truth is that first time succeeding, right? Let's say, you just get started and you try to do something, right? It's close to non-existence, right? I'm sorry if I just burst your bubble and made you sad that you cannot succeed the first time. I don't mean to do that, but that is the reality. Like even for me, when I get into, like say, for instance, I start to run ads in Twitter and I start to run ads in other platforms. Guess what? The first time I run my Twitter ads, I lose money. I could not get it right. I don't understand. The first time I do my YouTube ads, I failed too. And guess what? This is the 100% honest truth I can tell you. I thought I have so many videos and so on. I'm just going to put inside YouTube and that's it. Like I'm going to get a lot of traffic, a lot of videos because they are all content driven. I learned all this keyword optimization, how to research for other videos and so on. And then I start putting my videos into YouTube and I thought it's going to be an automated traffic machine, right? I think I've put in like 100 videos and so on. It didn't turn out like what I expected it to be at all. So as you can see, my expectation, because I've been reading other stuff, I've been reading books, going through courses, and I thought, hey, I sort of know everything, and now I'm going to crush it. I'm going to be the next YouTuber, not YouTuber to generate income, but have like hundreds of thousands of video views and so on. But it didn't happen, even at my level, right? So what I'm trying to say is this: if you start an online business and first time you come out off the gate and you succeed, that will be somewhat close to miracle, right? Because first time succeeding is close to non-existence. With the right coach or program, assuming that you have a coach, that you sign up for some program, you follow some good system that's been proven, and of course you fall back to mistake number one. Are you going through program by someone who is doing it? Are you having a coach who have success stories of others who they have coached, right? You may speed up your success rate, but you still can't expect a miracle to happen. So let's say you don't have a coach or you didn't join any program. You did not take out your $2,000 and invest in yourself. Yeah, you can still do whatever you're doing. It's just that it may take you 2 years or maybe take you 1 year. But if you have the right coach, not any coach, but the right coach or in the right program, instead of 1 year, you can speed up to maybe 1 month. But that still doesn't mean that you will achieve success. 1 month for you to get a business up and running and start marketing it. So that's mistake number 2. Too high for the expectation to achieve success. Mistake number 3. So mistake number 3 is, let me put it this way, right? There are many of you who are asking for help without really analyzing the situation. And this is why they don't get any support or help. So what do I mean by this? So this is a newbie mistake. The pros, the experts, don't have this problem because they don't go out there and ask for help without analyzing the situation or crafting a win-win relationship. Let me just put this into perspective and put it in a very blunt way so that I can help you. Again, if you're going to feel offended and take this personal, please leave the room right now because that's the last thing that I want to do. I just want to help you so that you won't repeat this mistake. So ask yourself this question: why would someone help you or teach you for free? And of course, I'm referring to the journey for learning about being an online entrepreneur, digital marketing, and so on. Of course, if you are doing something else and you're queuing and you ask someone to, go and pay your car park for you, whatever it is, of course, someone will help you. But let's talk about in this commerce, in this industry, right? Would someone would just take up their time and just teach you for free? So even if someone who is very successful and altruism and want to help, let's just take Mark Zuckerberg, for instance, right? So Mark Zuckerberg doesn't want to sell you courses. He don't need your money, right? So does this mean that because he don't need your money, thus he will teach you for free? No, right? Why? Because he has other things to attend to. He has 24 hours a day. He's probably doing something for his Facebook business, or he would probably spend time to walk his dog in the morning, rather than teach you for free because you are a stranger, right? So why newbies still go out there and asking for help without analyzing the situation? See that? This is why the mistake, and that's why they say why no one want to help them. Because in order for you, or should I say a newbie, to ask for help or ask someone to teach, then you need to give something back in return. What is the kindship that you are giving back in return? And usually it is about buying their time. It's about buying or paying for their knowledge of their expertise, right? It is not that people don't want to help you. It is not that people don't want to teach, but it is like asking people to do things for free. And to be frank, it is like taking full advantage of someone who spent years to acquire that expertise, and we want to ask it for free. They don't tell you that, hey, I'm not going to help you because blah, blah, blah. They just completely ignore you. So here's a classic mistake. A newbie would like to say this: if you help me to succeed, I'll give you 50% of my profit, or 20% of my profit, or whatever amount of profit that they want to give. Now, this is with the assumption that this newbie is approaching an expert, right? Because if he is not an expert, then there's no point the newbie is asking help from. So let's say this newbie seek an expert and say, hey, if you help me to succeed, I'll give you 50% of my profit. Now, do you think that's a good deal? Of course not. Now, I'm not being evil or something like that. I'm just talking of basic commerce here. Why would the expert risk his or her time on you, a newbie, for that? Because he's going to get 50% of profit. Why not he or she continue to do whatever he is doing, or even better, launch a new business without you and earn 100% profit and build his own brand, build his own database, and expand his own business? Why would he want to risk on you, right? So this is the mistake. This is a newbie mistake. And they do not know how to present a good proposal. So in this case, right, there's no proposal at all. You can't get an expert to agree to you, to help you, even if you give 90% profit. Why? First and for all, there's no risk on you. Why would the expert would ever wants to do that? Okay. So there you go. This some content that I don't think that gurus or experts would want to say it out, because why would they do that? Why would they ever do that? But this is the mistakes that newbies are actually failing. There's no point learning all the strategies and all this kind of tactics and so on without overcoming the 7 mistakes. And here's the thing, right? It is not something that we like to hear, because we like to live in a world where there always hope and so on, right? Well, now you know how to overcome. The hope will become a reality. So let's go to mistake number 4. Don't know what they don't know. So how do you solve a problem where you don't even know you have a problem? So that is newbie mistake number 4. They don't take the time to go and find out what they don't know. This is very, very dangerous. I mean, not dangerous as in like you can die, dangerous for the business. Now, when we do not know what we do not know, we continue on the wrong path. That is going to lose a lot of money, but will still waste so much more time. Now, don't get me wrong. I've trained thousands of students. I've seen so many students offline, online, and so on. I've seen the same students who stuck at the same place for years or easily for months and not progressing at all. And guess what? I can't help them because they do not know what they do not know, right? And it's so hard for me to tell them, dude, whatever you're doing, it's wrong, right? So this is how you should be doing it differently, because they would think that I'm trying to sell them my coaching program or some courses and so on. So it is better for me to just keep quiet in that sense. Although my heart tells me, hey, I got to correct this person. For instance, right, they do not know what they do not know, and they continue to pursue on something that is as close as hopeless. Maybe it's not hopeless, but it's as close as hopeless, when they can use their time and energy or something else that could get results. And sometimes they are being misled because they listen to all these gurus, experts, and so on. And that's where the confusion comes in. Why I say the confusion comes in? Because they do not know what they do not know. They do not know the real reality of some of these gurus and experts who are not living the life how they presented themselves are doing. Again, this is quite deep, which I'll just leave it as it is. So you got to know how to do your own due diligence to know who's real and who's not real. So why does this issue happens? Why does this mistake occur in the first place? The main factor for this mistake, ready for this, which I'm gonna share with you, and you're not gonna like it, okay? Because newbies try to save money, but not knowing the consequence. For instance, if you attend my training, I teach about, say, autoresponder. And which autoresponder I recommend? Aweber at sandaweber.com. So let's say this newbie have this mistake, right? Because he or she wants to save money and she go outside on the internet and found, oh, this autoresponder is a one-time off payment for just 29 bucks. And Aweber is at 29 bucks per month. So, hey, I'm being smart. I will go for a one-time fee, $29, ABC autoresponder, right? Because after all, both of them are just autoresponders. Now, that is a very dangerous mistake because imagine this, you're putting all of your mailing lists into a software where you're not paying every month for it. Now, just try to think from a business perspective. How would that software survive if it is not generating recurring income for itself? How would that company survive? So if that company dies, guess what happened to you? Your email list dies with them. Or if they go broke and then they take your list and then they go out there and sell to other people, or take your list and start spamming it with other offers trying to make money, who knows? When people are desperate, they do all sort of funny things. Don't you see that's very dangerous? Why? Because they try to save money. They say, you know what? Patrick says use this autoresponder is good, but it's $29 per month. Now I'm going to try to save money. So I'm just going to find something else as a one-time off investment. Because they could be innocent because they're newbies, because they do not know the consequence. Right? And to give an example, like this is Grandmaster Tan, who recently signed up for my mentoring program. Now, Grandmaster Tan, he's a grandmaster, not just a master, it's a Qigong practitioner. And he has trained over 10,000 people, get this, right? In live environment, like live events, like in centers and so on. And the clients who seek his energy healing, it's over, get this, over 20,000 people he has met one at a time, right? Over 20,000 people for the past over 20 years, right? So here he is, and he is humble and willing to take advice from me in this perspective and sign up for my mentoring program. Now, I'm not here to tell you to sign up for my mentoring program, right? Because it is not open to everybody. If you want, you can apply. I will figure out whether I can be of value to you. I need to understand your business. I need to know whether I can help you or not, and all those kind of process. But if you want, you can send an email to us, just like how Grandmaster Tan did. He sent us an email and I get on a call with him for 15 minutes. I tell him this is my fees. And if you want, I will consult your business and I will do it. So right now, he comes to me because he knows I know my stuff. So he may not know about internet marketing or digital marketing, and he probably know this is like the best way to get things done. So he doesn't want to do mistake number 4. Don't know what they don't know. So when I look into his business, I start to prepare the blueprint, what he should be doing, how to use his content. And the goal is to turn his Qigong training into digital program, into live classes, into masterclass, into digital products and everything else. And I'll be working with him for the next 12 months. And humbly, I feel that I would easily many times his current business, right? Because now it's going to expand nationwide and then eventually worldwide, right? So some entrepreneurs will understand this, not just newbies, and they rather don't take the risk. So saving money is actually quote unquote a poor man's mentality. Now, of course, saving money is a good attitude, but you got to understand what you're trying to do. Are you being penny wise, pound foolish, or you're really saving the right way? So let's go for mistake number 5. Okay. So this is not motivational stuff. I have no time to talk about motivational stuff, positive thinking. When I spend like with Grandmaster time, half a day consultation and mentoring, he comes to my office, we sit down half an hour. There is no, all this motivational talk. I will look into the business and say, this is what you should be doing, turn this, turn that. And I map out the entire strategy, the brand, everything. And then he goes back with a blueprint and then we work from there. So there is no motivational stuff here. And here I am, when you see mistake number 5, not willing to sacrifice, I'm not referring to motivational standpoint here, because we understand that we need to sacrifice. We need to sacrifice in order for us to get what we want. Do you agree or not? If you disagree, that's okay. I'm not going to change your mind. I can't change your mind. I'm not here to change your mind. I'm here to help you. I don't get anything, just so you know. So here's the thing that newbies sort of forgotten is that personally, I've never seen a marketer or an entrepreneur succeeded without sacrifices. I've never seen one. Have you seen one? And I'm not referring to inheritance. I'm talking about businessmen and businesswomen who achieve success, whether as a marketer or entrepreneur, who do not do any sacrifices and they are successful, they have successful business. Have you seen that before? Tell me, have you? I've never seen them. And I have, truthfully, a lot of marketing friends, like plenty of them. Most of the gurus are my friends. Like I'm a WhatsApp away from them. And I know their lifestyle. Some of them are very hectic, right? And they don't hide that their lives are hectic. They tell you in Facebook, in YouTube, and so on. They tell you that. They tell you that, hey, these are all of the sacrifices that I've been doing. And of course, there are those marketers who also hide their sacrifices and they tell you that, hey, you don't have to do anything, you don't have to sacrifice, and so on. And then you can be rich and wealthy. And you know where we're going with that, right? So I'm not following that, right? Because I know the truth. The good news is this: the reality is that online business has already allowed you to have much less sacrifices needed to become wealthy and achieving freedom. Much, much less. For instance, look at me. I would say, the classic example, because I have nothing. I didn't go to college. I didn't go to university. My highest academic education is high school. My father, actually my late father, drives a taxi for a living. My mom's a housewife, which means that we're not rich. We just have enough money to have shelter, clothes, and food, right? So I don't have any marketing education. I don't have any business education. I don't really have all of those in that sense. And my English, I don't go for English lessons and so on, right? But you see, because I'm willing to sacrifice when I was in my early 20s, what I've gained back in 5 years is tremendous. What do I mean by that? Tremendous in the sense that for someone with my background and my expertise, I'm always doomed not to become a millionaire. It's not possible. I mean, the facts, the reality is that, someone with my background, it's very rare to accumulate my little small fortune of wealth, right? And next is that with the online business, it has helped me to accelerate my wealth so many times. So like, for instance, like before I am 30, I got my dream home where it is sea view above the hill and all this kind of stuff. I drive nice cars and so on, even before I'm 30 years old. So I get to do all of those. I travel all around the world for vacations, blah, 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 all this boring stuff, which, that's nothing to talk about all of those, because all of those are something that anyone can achieve if they are willing to sacrifice. So I pay my price, but the reality is the price is worth it. So how long I need to work? Maybe 5 years, right? But let me ask you this question. If you need to work on a business for 5 years and you can become a millionaire, would you do it or not? And I'm saying that be a real millionaire, not like those fake millionaires, which you can define fake millionaires in any way, right? Is it worth it? Is it worth it that you can achieve success for just a few years just by sacrificing? Yeah, that's what I mean. See, the newbie mistake is that they don't see all the sacrifices. It's the price they're paying for the future. So they don't get it. They don't see results right now. So they feel that, hey, I'm not seeing result. Damn, I've been working for 1 month right now and I'm still not a millionaire yet. It's so hard for me to educate them, right? So that is the mistake. And then they jump onto like another opportunity, another platform. They say, okay, digital product doesn't work. So let me try to do e-com. Let me try to do dropship, and dropship doesn't work. Then they go one big round. They come back to ClickBank. ClickBank didn't work. They go and sell services. Services didn't work. And then now they pretend to be an expert and go out there and sell social media solutions. And it just continue because when they are going through that sacrifice, because they don't understand the so-called timeline, right? So they sort of feel that, hey, I've been sacrificing for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, and I'm not seeing results yet. So I urge you to read the book called The Tipping Point by Malcolm Gladwell. But I have to warn you, it's a very boring reading. Okay. So I read that. It's a very boring reading. Somehow it took me months to complete the book. So I'm just going to summarize for you in this concept. Sometimes, if you're not achieving success yet because you haven't reached the tipping point, right? So when you reach the tipping point, I have no clue when you're going to reach the tipping point. But when you reach the tipping point, that's where you break through the ceiling. And that's where your sacrifices has piled up to the stage that, hey, you're on the right path. But here's the kicker to this is that, you see, before reaching this part here, they need to overcome the 4 earlier mistakes. What do I mean by that? So if they have the earlier mistakes, like for instance, right, don't know what they don't know, then they continue to sacrifice doing the wrong things because they do not know that they are doing wrong things. So that's not going to go anywhere, right? So there's no point sacrificing on something that is wrong. Or they are going for mistake number 1, where they're taking free advice from free groups. So that's mistake number 1, listening to quote unquote everyone. So they're listening to everyone, and now they feel that they're sacrificing because they're doing all of this stuff. But hey, you're getting advice from people who are also struggling. You're not getting advice from the real expert. How are you expecting this advice to turn into worthwhile results for you? Okay, so let's move to mistakes number 6. In love with their own idea or product. And wow, I can tell you that this mistake, it is so common among newbies, to the degree that I cannot even do anything, that I don't have any power to help them because they are already in love with their own idea or product. Do you remember the last time you are in love? Or maybe you are in love right now. I know when I'm in love, I completely ignore everything. And that's a good thing when you are in love with your spouse, with the guy that you love or the gal that you love, right? Remember that moment that you're in love? Just go back to that moment. Remember that moment when you're in love, that you do everything, anything for love? Remember that? Okay, good, right? Now, but when it is not with another human being, but it's with an idea or product, that is bad for business. So I have clients, I have customers, right? And I'm just being total honest with you. They join program, say $1,000 program, right? Which is common. Most of my program is at $1,000. So they join $1,000 program, and after a month or two, they quit. And the reason why they quit is because they were unhappy that they cannot use it for their own product at that time. But the truth is, I've been advising them, hey, your product, it's not going to sell well because I've reviewed it. Your website, it's just so many problems with it that it's not going to work. But they ignore that piece of advice and they say, hey, I'm just going to find someone else who will help me to market my product. And you know what? I says, well, if that is your case, go ahead and do it. And they'll probably find someone who say that because someone wants to sell them some stuff and take their money, right? Which is fine. Not my game. I wouldn't want to take any money if I can't add value to my student or my clients, right? That's what happened. So if you were to Google stats about authors, and this is what I did, I found this question that people also ask. What percent of authors are successful? And get this, right? It is not 0.1%. It is not 0.2%. Do you see that percentage is 0.025% of authors are successful? And here's the interesting part. And the definition of success here is just sell at least 1,000 copies of books. I've sold so many thousands of copies of books that I've lost count. Same with my marketing friends. But here we are. A conventional author could not even sell 1,000 copies. Why I bring this up? Right? Because authors are the typical people, I will call them the creators, who are in love with their own idea and their books. Books, aka their product. They think that their books is going to change the world. That if they write this book, they put it out there and people will start buying, people will start sharing, and they become the next whoever best-selling author's name is. And they don't really learn about marketing. They don't really listen to marketers, experts, and so on, because they are so in love with their own idea and product. So this is just to give you an example. Why being in love with your own idea or product, it is as good as a path to failure. Now, you can see this, right? 0.025% of authors are successful. Most authors, if they rely on selling books to pay the bills, they will be broke. They will be bankrupt. You will need to sell the house, because here, right, 0.025 is those who sell just 1,000 copies. And a book may just cost, say, $20 or $10. If it's $20 times 1,000 is only $20,000. And they take maybe 10% royalty. 20,000, 10%, that is $2,000. Can you believe that? $2,000 for you to live on for the entire year? That is quite challenging. Average product, get this, average product with good marketing can make you rich. Now, I'm not saying lousy products. I'm saying average product, meaning that this is good product for the market. Means that you're not selling something that's below average, right? And if you just know how to do marketing, good marketing, you can be rich, especially on the internet. But good product with poor marketing may not even give you average result. Likely to be poor results. You know how crazy is that? Like if you have good product and you do not know marketing, now you're gonna have poor results. Not average results, poor results. So how to overcome this is stop falling in love with your own idea or product. Go for what the market wants. If I teach you certain strategies and that strategies can help you to make money, I'm just suggesting is go with that, right? And instead of you thinking of what strategies you love most. Mistake number 7, we're reaching the end here, is this. Newbies never focus on building database. They don't. So database equals asset. Now, what is database? Email database, phone database, all of these are database. And the most common database in online business is users or email lists, depending how you build a business. Database is asset. You look at Facebook. Facebook business is because they have database. Same with Instagram and so on. So that is at a very macro view. But if you look at a micro view, as in like for internet marketers and so on, many of us rely on our email list for our business. And one of our core strategy is always focus on building database. That's what we do. Every single day, we build database. And I have systems to build database on 100% pure automation, which means that I'm not working, but every day I'm capturing leads, building my email list, sending out emails and everything, and so on. So let's look back at Facebook. Some of you may say that Facebook product is Facebook, the social network. Are you sure? Are you sure that is really the asset? If it is, I'm pretty sure that out there would be some other platform that has more features than Facebook. Agree or not? If there's none, in the future, there should be, or there could be a company that can have a social network that have more features, right? But why is Facebook the dominator in this space? Because they have database, because they have users. If you watch this movie called or documentary called The Social Dilemma, which is available in Netflix, right? It has a very controversial message. You should watch it for your own knowledge in that sense. But if you think again, who's Facebook's customer? Facebook customers are people like me, Facebook advertisers, right? So what is Facebook product? Facebook product, it is not the website or the tools. Facebook product is you and me, the users. We are the product of Facebook because we are being quote unquote sold to their customers. Their customers is advertiser. Why they are considered customers? Because that's where revenue is being made. So what do advertisers buy? Advertisers are not buying Facebook. Advertisers are buying your attention, my attention. Crazy, huh? So asset equals money. That's it. So straightforward. If you are building asset, you are building wealth. Newbies, they don't. Why? The reason for this mistake? Because newbies like to focus on short term with biz-op mindset. They don't think about building asset. Even when I teach my training about affiliate marketing, I don't teach them to go out there and sell other people's product, right? Because I don't teach my students on trying to make money online or how to do this bizop stuff. I teach them how to build a business. I teach them how to build asset. I teach them how to build database. Then I teach them monetization strategies based on their assets. So those are what I teach. Those are my message. My students will know that. So newbies who are not my students, that's fine. What they do is they tend to focus on short-term stuff. Short-term means this bizop. Bizop means that, what is the latest way of how to make money online? That kind of stuff. And that is, in my humble opinion, is a mistake. So you build asset, you build your own brand, you build all of those. So don't just do affiliate marketing. Affiliate marketing is just a way how you monetize. There's strategies to do it effectively. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying don't do affiliate marketing. There are strategies, but not the way of doing like a biz-op mindset. So because you have completed the training here right now, I want to congratulate you. Congratulations. Now you're equipped with the training and you know what could be the mistakes that you have. In my own research, after teaching so many students for more than a decade, I would tell you that every single newbies have at least one of these mistakes. Unless they have ego and they don't want to admit, that is fine. But they have at least one of these mistakes that is preventing them to succeed today. So congratulations. Now you can overcome being a newbie. There are trainings that you need to do to go from here, because it's a fact that you need to continue from here, because there's no point you going through the training and you're not going to do anything, right? So first you got to seek the know-how. You got to have the knowledge in order for you to do things right now. So once you overcome the newbie stage, so whatever that you want to pursue an online business, you want to pursue a digital knowledge business, like what I do, you got to have the know-how knowledge. You must have that. You don't want to fall into the same mistake of trying to get free knowledge, free content, go to YouTube and watch videos. You can. I'm not saying that you can't. But then you fall into another mistake, not knowing what you don't know, right? Next is this: you got to have the tools for you to build your business. And last but not least, you need the support and the help for you to achieve your dream, to achieve your goal, and all of the amazing things that you can do. So you're going to go ahead and walk this path today, to go on this journey, to seek all of these wonders that can help you to transform your life, can help you maybe to even become a millionaire one day. Not now, all right? Let's face it, it's not going to happen right now. Like when I first started, I was just hoping that I can pay my bills. I wasn't expecting to become an internet millionaire, achieve all this stuff. No, not at all, right? But it can happen. So you're on this very exciting journey that you're going to move forward. So you're going to go out there and seek help and so on. Now, we will be wrapping up today's training, and I thank you to be here with me. And I truly enjoy myself doing this training for you. 10 classes of Newbie series. And if you've been attending all of the classes, with that said, this is Patric here, signing off. And I look forward to hear of your success story in the future. Thank you very much. Take care, everybody. See you all.